Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about a tutorial on how to do painted textures for SpeedTree, and this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with the leaf texture for this tree, and it's the same for the bark, but you want to get that base color down using the brush tool, getting the basic outline of what your leaves want to look like, and then I'll show you here what I did next is the branches. Now these are just the normal color of the branches where I also put in the mid-rib and for the leaves, and I do the main branch that connects all those leaves because I want to do a more of a cluster style leaf. And then I do all the highlights to the branches and the highlights to the leaves. For the vines, as you can see, now you do the same thing as you would do for the bark and the wood of the tree. You put those highlights in to give it that depth view of it, and then you can do the more detailed work after. And this shows you like how detailed the stylized leaf is and how you should do it, where you should add shadow, where you should add light on one side and shadow on the other, and making sure it stays consistent throughout the leaf. That is the big factor in this. Now you're going to save that next as an image, as a JPEG. Sorry, PNG, because this needs to be a PNG file. Both of these need to be a PNG file. What we're going to do for the leaf, you're going to save the base color as a PNG. Just call it leaf PN or base color, even though I didn't mention that. And now what you want to do is you want to select the layers that you've been working on, duplicate all those layers, and then you'll have all those layers selected, and then I want you to merge all the layers. And you can name it whatever you want. I just name it color something. And now we're going to use this to get our alpha, our black and white, but our alpha is also our opacity in SpeedTree. Now when you click that, I want you to hit Control Shift Alt B to bring up that menu and just press OK. Now what I want to do next is create a new layer. As you can see here, I already have this example there, and I want you to just use the white color and just paint the background with the bucket tool. And then I want you to alt in between those layers and click, and you'll get that. And then just turn the black background on, and that's your alpha. And that will be your opacity layer in SpeedTree, which you can just complete. And now you just have to save it as an alpha, so you know the naming convention of what this picture looks like if you're just going by the detail in the library format. And that's pretty much it for this part of the video. Stay tuned for the next step. So in this next clip here, we are going to be opening our bark texture in Alchemist, and now it's basically the same thing with the leaf, what I explained before with the highlights and doing that dark pattern, like as in the branches, you do those dark for the height. Now you just want to drag it in there under the Create tab on the top left corner and put it in, and you can kind of see that there's already height mapped in there, and it gives you that height variation. And now if you click in the viewer part right there, displacement settings, and you can play with the tool, and it shows you where the height can be now in that texture. And it's a key part. You don't want to put it too high or you don't want to put it too low, but you want to find that right setting, and I kind of find that at 0.25 and 0.07 or 08 ish. 0.1 is pretty good, and that's all you really need to go for that part. And now when you export to, it's gonna auto generate those textures, but you can also play with the roughness if you want. It doesn't really do much to hand paint textures as much when you play with these basic parameters, or if you want to go and add all these different types and make your texture a lot more detailed. But when you export here, you definitely want to use the 2K option and go for JPEG or PNG, whatever you prefer. JPEG will be a lot smaller files and more condensed, and also the SPS file and SBR file to save as and to open it in other Substance programs such as Designer or Painter. Now you also want a naming convention for your stuff so you don't forget what it is. I would save it first as an SPSR, so it creates a folder for your private folder for all that texture, and put it project place and just export it. And you're going to have to export it 3 times using SBS, SBS. Alright, now we move into SpeedTree where we can apply our texture work now that you've done. So we're going to go into SpeedTree. You got your little SpeedTree there. You got your click all your branches or anything that you want your bark to be on. You're going to click it and hit the material section right there. Now you're going to hit that material insert button and you're going to say import new material. Find your file. Now the bark will be under that because we use the Alchemist program, and just import the base color in for now. Now you're gonna look. It's gonna look a little bit flat, and that's okay. We haven't added everything in yet. Gotta be patient. Now I want you to add your normal map in, which is your kind of weird color one. Now you'll see that I put a lot of detail in. I want you to kind of mess around with those settings. You obviously won't see if you do it really little changes, but if you go to like 0.7, the 0.6s, the 0.5, you start seeing that crazy detail, right? I usually keep it at 0.2. It's just a detail I kind of want. I don't want it too standoutish, and I want you to put also your AO, your ambient occlusion in, because it gives you that darkness that you want. And the normal map in SpeedTree, by the way, is also your roughness, so you gotta be careful with that. And we will do the leaf texture next here in this next clip. Alright, now let's do the leaf texture. So now we're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna select the leaf meshes now. Now you're probably looking at their planes. We gotta remember, we gotta put the texture on, and we gotta import the new material that we want. Now we want to do the base color, the black version of this, by the way. So find it, hit the black, which is a PNG. Also, you need to make sure this is a PNG. It won't work if it's not a PNG. Now you're wondering, don't panic. Why is it black? Probably wondering why. And we do want double-sided on, just because leaves. I'll show you after why not. Now. Let's hit the leaves. You'll see the color, but now we're missing something. We got to get that, the leaf feature. So we're gonna hit that, this box right here, and put our alpha map in. And now you're gonna see, wow, now those leaves are popping. But you're also getting that weird glitch. So let's do double-sided, and now you can actually see both sides of the leaves. It's a weird feature that I don't know why it's not enabled right away when you do it. You just gotta make sure it's always enabled, and that's how you make a stylized tree in SpeedTree. So you make the textures, you make a seamless texture, you make the leaf texture, you make your alpha for it, you use your bark, you put it into Alchemist, and you put it in, and it looks beautiful. I want to thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.